Bull or bear? Let's see what happens here. Rolling my old bull and bear decision maker, and she comes up a bull. Let's see what happens tonight in the markets. Good afternoon, folks. What's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Kind of overcast here, but man, it was nice and cool this morning at 71 degrees. Looks like our summer is kind of officially over. I always say that, then we get one of those hot winters. Beautiful day out there as far as water goes. Not big enough to surf. I can see somebody out there. That looks like a fishing boat to me out there trolling, more than likely. Probably doing well on a day like this. Really nobody out there. All right, it's not the fishing or the weather report. Let's get into markets and other things. Let's talk about that head right there. Give me a second. And of course, you know I like to put up sayings and things and quotes. Certainly the game is rigged. Don't let that stop you. If you don't bet, you can't win. That's by Robert Heinlein, one of my favorite sci-fi authors when I was younger, but I always remembered that in my head because, of course, the game is always rigged against us some way, somehow. Life is rigged against us. I mean, it's never easy, right? Everybody would do it. Well, anyways, let's get into markets here. 25.63, 30.28, 9.40. What does this mean? Major monkey hammering by the big commercials over a period of the last couple weeks. I'm going to get into something. I'm going to show you some of the graphs here in gold and silver and why this is not untypical for a couple reasons. I know the first thing on everyone's head is Trump. No, and not necessarily that. That win is the reason. And well, it's the same old stuff, folks. It's the big commercials banging the longs capitulating, the commercials buying back their short positions, rinse and repeat, usually in $5 cycles. I've talked about this a long time. We almost reach that $35 mark, and boom, what happens? Overnight in thinly traded markets, the markets get hammered. There's no real capitulation of silver, folks. This is strictly the dog or the tail wagging the dog again with paper prices dictating spot prices. But that's kind of the way it works in the Crimex markets. But a good sale, a good opportunity. I know a few guys out there were lamenting not being able to buy when silver was pumping 32, 33, 34 and looked like it was going to hit that $35 market. But however, if you're still out there, man, now's a good time. Even premiums are on sale, so you can get some really good physical prices out there. Just across the board, silver's on sale in general at this $30. It did pop a little bit below the $29 mark a little bit, but not too much, not too long. And could it still pop below 30? Sure, why not? They could do it tonight. They could do it in the morning. Again, remember, short term, I think overall dictates, or the big commercials and the big paper traders dictate the short term markets. And maybe medium term markets if you kind of want to look at it that way too. It's what you define medium term. But good price. Gold 25.63. Seems like gold got really hit the worst. You know, it was up in that $2,700 mark. Now we're down $150 or so. And again, silver down overall. But again, look when it happens, folks. Who is capitulating gold and silver other than big paper? You know, again, the tail wagging the dog. Meanwhile, central banks are out there buying it up. Good, savvy people looking to buy gold and silver on the dips, especially the big dips are buying it up. And, again, I don't, as far as physical capitulation by retail stackers of gold and silver, I haven't seen hardly any. Some capitulation by some gold stackers, but for the most part, no. And most of them, again, not doing it because they want to, just because they have either a good opportunity to do something different, pay a bill, or they just can't afford to hold the stuff anymore. And they're still doing well, even if they're selling at this level. But most lament selling at these levels. Again, that's what I'm finding out with my customer base. Platinum, I think on Friday looked like it closed up in the green a little bit, which indicates to me maybe we'll see some upmarket in the silver and gold tonight. Maybe the coin is right. I don't know. Let's figure this out. But I want to get into a couple things about the number one, about the Trump win. We haven't really spoken since then, and let me show you this little video.
Well, all I hear all day long at school is how great Marsha is at this, or how wonderful Marsha did that. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha.
And that's kind of how I feel with Trump, and I don't mean in a bad way. I'm glad that the other person didn't win. But this is what we're hearing across the financial markets. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. And, the truth of the matter, folks, is yes, it does have an impact on the gold and silver markets, but not quite to the degree that the big commercials banged it on, or probably were leading up to this point, and not to the degree that a lot of investors may think. That Marcia is going to fix the economy. It's just, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit here. And as you can see, the headlines really are all about Marcia, 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 Marcia with three Marcias, another Marcia. And again, nothing bad about this. However, I think a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people are overestimating the effect of this win on the economy. I'm in the belief that, and I just can't believe that they've juggled this economy this long, even through the blue administration that we've seen for the last 4 years. It just blows my mind that they've been able to uphold this economy since 2008. However, one thing I say about the Fed and the government, and the thing you can also say about the big fraudsters in the commercial banks at Crimex, is never underestimate the power of money and how much money they can throw at something sometimes. And the level of which they're willing to go to do these kind of things. All right. Well, anyways, let's take a look at again, news, everything. Marcia, 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 pretty much Marcia, 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 for the most part. And let me get into something I wrote here. If some of you have been following me on X, I like X platform. You don't get crushed for speaking your opinion. I don't think we do, but and you also don't get kicked off for expressing your opinion, whether it's political or whatever it may be. Give me 1 second here. Take a sip. All right. I wrote this probably right. When did I write this? Post-Trump victory. Okay, I wrote it right after. I also wrote, as you guys knew, and some of you read, that I thought it was going to be a landslide, and I kind of predicted why. And you can get into that. Look at my past videos. But here is my prediction with the post-Marcia victory here. Gold and silver price predictions post-victory. And then my analysis. Gold and silver prices are poised for a significant rebound following Trump's election win. Trump is unlikely to implement the stringent economic reforms necessary to address Americans' underlying fiscal issues. Instead, he is expected to continue policies that maintain economic buoyancy through lower interest rates and expansive monetary policies. Essentially using these tools to keep the populace content. And that's what Trump is. He's a populist. I mean, we all know that. He admits he's a populist. He kind of ran on a populist kind of, in a way. But I digress. The reality of fixing the economy would require, this is my opinion too, it doesn't mean it's true. The reality of fixing the economy would require a substantial austerity measures and budget cuts, leading to immediate economic hardship. Such actions would likely render any president a one-term leader, and we already know that Trump is a one-term leader, of course. Last time he can run. Maybe this is a reason he might do these kind of things, but let's see. And widely unpopular due to the short-term economic pain inflicted, and I'd say not just short-term, medium-term as well. Now, when I say austerity, let me just say investing in being more sound economically would be a better term than austerity, because austerity always sounds bad. And sometimes the way it's been used, it has been bad. So, but we are going to have to inflict some pain on the U.S. dollar, on the financial system, on the economic system overall to get ahead in the future, not go backwards. And I just can't see that happening. Is Trump prepared to undertake these drastic measures? Highly unlikely, in my humble opinion. And again, this is not a bad thing, okay? While his victory may temporarily stabilize the economy, which I think it's doing right now, or will do, it'll ultimately worsen the situation in the long run if he opts for aggressive monetary expansion. And that's kind of what he did. Don't forget, folks, that's what he did in 2016, monetary expansion. He wanted lower interest rates. He pushed for them. Now, and some have said, well, what's wrong with that? This is artificially controlling the economy, folks. This is what has gotten us in trouble over and over and over. I mean, again, I digress. Often, in the long run, if he opts for aggressive, often referred to as helicopter money and artificially low interest rates, that's the problem. Dynamics for context, had the blue won the election, we might have seen an immediate uptick in gold and silver prices. I believe that. The price drop observed on election day that we've seen because of the win, the Marcia win. Marcia. I hope you like that analogy. Again, I'm not denigrating the man at all. I just, it's all we hear lately, and I like that. Can be attributed to speculative trading by large commercial entities, capitalizing on the belief that Trump would bolster the dollar. Yet, based on historical patterns and policy inclinations, this assumption might prove incorrect, folks. His policies in the past have led to inflation, traditionally boosting precious metal values as inflation hedges, okay? And my personal stance, I supported him over they, but my analysis suggests that in terms of precious metal market dynamics, his re-election is not really going to deliver the anticipated stability, or should I say might not, that's probably more fair, deliver the anticipated stability for the dollar. And that's my opinion, folks. And why do I say that? Well, first, let me kind of bring up a couple things. Election was November, okay? And we did see a good price drop here in November. But I want to remind some folks out there, and especially some of you graph guys and you guys that follow gold and silver and have been around, I don't follow it really on graphs. I just have a memory that, you do this every day for a living, 5 days a week. You start to get patterns in your mind when things happen. And in the past, the pattern has been typically in the fall and in the spring for metals to kind of get whacked. I'm going to use gold, but you can look at silver and find a similar pattern. I got silver up there if you want to take a look at them. Let's see if we get through here first. All right, I went back, I believe this is a 10-year chart here, and here we go. All right, you can see November through December, January, the uptick. But look, there's the spring fall. There's this spring fall. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's your spring fall right there. And then after that, we did have a substantial drop. But remember, that was 2015. 2016 was a pretty awful time as well for precious metals. We were coming off the big 2012 highs, all kinds of things. But here we go, and you can also see October, November. There's your fall right there. Even though we were in a bad year for gold, there's your fall again, and then your uptick, your substantial uptick running through the summer months until you get, well, again, not so much spring months, but a lot of anomalies going on here. It's funky time here, a lot of money being pumped into the economy. But again, I want to remind you, take a look at the November falls, all right? November falls, and then you get your uptick in December. What I'm pointing to here is a pattern, as you can see, that doesn't hold up all the time, but you'll see that these little drops are usually in the fall, and then they jump back up during December, even these tiny ones here. And then, of course, 2018, there you go. There's your fall months again. And let's just kind of go up through here. We've got a rising market here, and of course, all explainable. I don't want to keep going down or digressing here about why this market's going up. We all know. But I want to point out, what I'm really trying to point out here is these trends, these downward trends that you see. Look, back up in December. Let's move through here, through June, July, August, September, October. There you go, downward trend. Back up during the holidays, and boy, there we go. That was there's your spring trade right there. So these are patterns that I've recognized for years, and the same thing for silver. And why do I bring that up? And here, let me see if I can find that. That's March and April, and there you go, September. There's your big trade back when we were in that $20 to $25 range, and then a whack. Hold on, there we go. Spring, there we go, September, a little bit on the upside there. August, a little bit early on that one. What was that, 2022? Yep, 2022. Well, anyways, you can see a similar pattern, but silver, man, much crazier lines there. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that the election and the price of gold and silver falling, not necessarily based on a Trump win, and as many would assume that you need to get rid of your metals because everything's going to be better, and quite the contrary, folks, as you know, my opinion is here on what Trump may do. And again, I think he's got some really great ideas out there as far as making things better financially, but doing the hard things, doing the things that are going to really need to be done to rein this country in long term, make it economically sustainable, and make this government economically sustainable as well as the dollar. No one's going to do the right thing. No one's going to do the hard thing because no one wants to be hated that much. And when I say that, I'm talking about Social Security. I'm talking about benefits across the board. I'm talking about military cuts across the government. I know they're talking about it, but remember, folks, that's just a department. DOGE, the Department of something with Elon and Vivek, is just simply a non-governmental or non-official department. It still has to go through Congress and Senate. And do you think them bastards are going to vote through a lot of the stuff that's going to cut through their districts? No, I doubt it. But again, don't want to digress into politics here. I just want to show you that November trend in gold and silver. And another reason gold and silver are not going to go down, and again, the reason that even a Donald Trump election, which might have had a little bit to do with gold going down, again, that perception that things are going to get better, and the big commercials and paper trading on that perception, trying to get people, even though they know it's not true, trading on the perception that it's going to get better, you don't need your gold, is a good way to get the shorts, the longs out, isn't it? People long in gold is to make them think everything's fixed, but it's not, folks. It's not fixed, okay? That's the bottom line. UBS here has the interesting update. Stronger for now, but it's still, US dollar strong for now, but still scope to fall. And if you can read that, you'll know it's exactly this right here. This is what you got, all right? This chart has never gotten better. This is the Consumer Price Index, purchasing power of the consumer dollar in the U.S. average. I know a lot of people like to use different indexes, the PPI and different indexes, but this is just a great example. And they've changed what they can put in there, too, what the consumer dollar buys. They've changed this index by the basket of goods they use, I believe, and still look at it. It's just atrocious, folks. And that's the long-term chart. It's never getting better. It's never going to get better. Just look at the 5-year real quick. There's the 5-year, and there's the 1 year. Here, let's look through Trump's tenure, right? Does it any better during Trump's tenure? Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. A little more ups, a little more peaks, but the overall trend downward, folks. So do you really think that this new election is going to fix anything? And a lot of people say, oh, look, interest rates may go down too with him in there. He may force interest rates down. Well, that's what we were talking about. Helicopter money and lower interest rates are not going to fix anything. It's going to be like a shot of morphine to the arm of the economic system. That's what you're going to see. It ain't going to do anything. It's going to mask what's really going on. Gold versus real yields. If you trust the numbers that they use on this right here, of course, you'll see that as real yields go down, the price of gold goes up. But overall, not really. Take a look at this right here. When yields were rising, and yields were rising right here instead of going down, okay? Oh, no, that's an inverse chart. There you go. Rising yields right there. My apology. Gold continues to track upwards. So I believe that for the most part, unless treasury yields and things like that were paying far, far above this, again, I think the data skewed on that. People aren't going to, or gold's not going to continue to go down based on this right here. All right, so many reasons why I believe that gold and silver is going to continue to go up here, and I believe my prediction, in my opinion, and remember, it's just my opinion, my prediction is that we're going to see higher gold prices here coming into the new year, obviously, and probably even up until December, based on the graph that I've seen for years. But, again, patterns don't always repeat over and over, but, the November pattern and the fall-summer pattern, the spring-summer pattern and the fall pattern seem to hold true for many, many of years if you go back and take a look at least a decade or more. So the fall of November and the rise in December I think is what we're going to see again here. GATA puts out some good stuff here. Central banks and bullion banks buy the dip, encouraged by GATA's unborn. All right, well, buy the dips, of course they will. Who wouldn't? And again, when you've got paper driving down the price of physical and you want to own physical, man, this stuff is like on sale. It's on sale for central bankers. And who do you think central bankers are? Central bankers are the same people that are buying gold, yet pawning off that cheap paper fiat on you, and even trying to pawn off their cheap treasuries into Tether, into Bitcoin. Folks, trust me, gold and silver, in my opinion, is the place to be. All right, where are we going from here? I want to talk about last week's. Well, anyway, there's my assessment, is that we're going to see higher gold and silver prices like we seasonally have coming up in December and January at least. But again, these patterns don't always come true. If you take a look, though, you'll see that what I've said is true, especially with gold. It's easier to see, is that typically in the fall months, you get that big whack from the big crooked commercials in the Crimex markets. It's like clockwork. This is how they make their money. All right. I think we're going to see higher prices, though. I really do. And for tonight, short term, I think the coin says up tonight. Let's see what happens. I'm kind of curious myself. And my apologies. I always apologize for not doing videos, but you got to be inspired to do these things. And how many times can you talk about the corruption in the Crimex markets and what gold and silver is going to do? When I say what gold and silver is going to do, ultimately it's going to go up, folks. Ultimately, this stuff is just going to continue to go up. Timing is everything, of course, but if you're never going to go broke owning this stuff, not my opinion. I believe the opinion of 5,000 years of people that have trusted this stuff. You're never going to go broke as far as bankrupt goes. If you start playing options and day trading, yeah, you could go broke big time. That's why I don't do it. But who am I to tell you not to do that? I wouldn't suggest it unless you really know what you're doing. To me, that's gambling. All right, here's my my last video, and again, it's 2 weeks ago, but I did this right here before the election. I said Trump wins the election, okay? I foretold the future. Not really. It was pretty obvious to see if you're not a blue or red person like me. I'm kind of in the middle. Beautiful thing about being in the middle is you can throw stones at both glass houses, and also it's easier. You don't live in I'm in the middle of these things. I'm kind of libertarian in the middle, but I'm not a blue. I'm not a red. I do have my choices on who I'd rather see in at times, but I'm neither, okay? So it's much easier for me to throw stones, and it's also much easier for me to not live in an echo chamber. I don't care. If you're a blue or a red person, you live in an echo chamber no matter how hard you try not to. Well, anyways, I kind of predicted that win right there, and I said what was my idea. I said exactly what it was going to do. It was going to drop because we already seen it dropping beforehand, in overnight trading, thinly traded markets in the evening, and I saw the hammer being dropped at the election, especially when he won. Boom! But again, it's not just the election, folks. It was also the timing. They do it every time in the this time of year in the fall. All right, let me answer some questions from last week's video. Michael Matthews, coffee. I know it's afternoon, but I'm still drinking coffee. One sec. Yeah, John Schroeder, can't argue with that more. By the way, thank you for your service, sir. I really appreciate that. Looks like Tories have failed to address the issues behind. No, man, we sailed through that one. That was 2 weeks ago before the election, John. Hey, we're good now, dude. You can take a sigh of relief. Marsha, man. Joey Keith. Hey, dude, what's up? Hope you continue. Thank you. You as well, sir. Glad to see you posting there. Silverliner, how are you doing? I know one of the banks saying 3K before the end of the year. Boy, that's going to... Well, it's possible. Again, I think we're going to see the up market. If you take a look at the graphs I showed you earlier, yeah, very well true. Take a look at my cursor right here. This is what we've seen typically after those fall smackdowns like this. So maybe, not unlikely at all, Thank you, Linda. Always nice to see and hear from you. And thank you, Blackie4804 as well. I think we're good. Silver Cobra, obviously. Listen, man, it happens. He won and everything like that. Don't get too upset about it. People were upset because the other idiot won in the last one. But, I think overall, I think that, again, what I said, if you were step outside your bias there, Silver Cobra, again, this is everyone. Everyone has their bias one way or the other on this issue. Blue or red. But if you really step outside, you'll know, Silver Cobra, that the problem is not fixable. The only way we could fix this problem, the other party wasn't going to do it. This party's not going to do it, in my opinion. The only way it would get done, and even if Marsha says that he wants to do it himself, he still has to have Congress and the Senate behind him to do it. And you think these suckers in Congress or either way are going to do hard, painful things to fix things? No. Man, they want to get reelected. They don't have term limits like this guy does now. All right, have a nice day, Silver Cobra. Pat Chat, what's up? It absolutely is circus. I agree that 100%. And we didn't have to worry about he did win. We're going to put food on your table, be your own goal, hold your bank. Okay, who saw it? Yeah, tariffs would do nothing but raise prices, Pat. But, again, we're in a screwed situation no matter who won. I think faster screwed if the other side had won, quite honestly, in my opinion. User says, have been popping up the economy. Here, excuse me, I'll move that computer a little bit. They all say soft landing. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to have a soft landing. In fact, I think now that Marcia has won the election, that it's going to get dumped. I think the bad numbers, all the bad stuff might get dumped right there. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Barber Motorsports is awesome, man. So some of you guys that looked at my X page, you'll see that I posted pictures of my little trip last week when I was out of town. That's why I missed a video for a week of my trip there. And yep, exactly. I think to some degree here, Gold says offer a nice. Yeah, hey man, nice call there, buddy. I think you got it too as well. I think we both had it there. Over here, Mark Gold breaks everything, never looks back, like that. You're gonna let's see what happens. I hope so. I really do. I hope that he's able to do the hard things and not worry about being loved and being or being hated. You know what I mean? Just do the right thing. Thank you very much. Mark Hall, what's up? Make it a fun time. I agree. We are not here for a long time. 100%. Don't let these elections get to you, folks, whether you did or did not vote for this person or not. Just take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your friends and neighbors. And hopefully they'll take care of you as well. Dislike with the media. Yep, we all have, man. Philip Stanton, to be with mom. Go to. I know, man. I went to Alabama. That's right. It's before this video. Yeah, had a great time up there. I'm sorry I missed you. I really am. A lot of you folks, give me a call. If you give me a call in advance, let me know you're coming. I'll tell you if I'm going to be in town or not. Love to meet a lot of you viewers. All of you guys, actually. You're all great. John Gordon, you never know. Again, nothing's impossible. And, there I am. Algorithms are stuffing my videos, in my opinion. And watching, you'll hear why. And why did this video get stuffed? Well, I said some very unkind things about the platform that I'm circling right up there. And why I like the other platform here, and some really not nice things. And then also I was mentioning names and who I was happy to see win. I was happy to see, what is it?
Things.
Oh, Marcia.
All day long at school and how great Marcia is at this, or how wonderful Marcia did that.
Oh, Marcia, I got it.
Marcia.
All right, I had to do it. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying it's what we've been hearing. And again, it's not the cure for what ails us, folks. What he could possibly do could be the cure for what ails us. All right, well, I'm going to finish this video saying a couple things. First, think for yourself, question authority, and also question what you think you know. You may have been lied to, and most likely have. Our whole lives have been lied to. Good lies, bad lies, white lies, black lies, all different types of lies. They're still lies, folks, and they can get you in trouble if you believe in a white lie, So question what you think you know, and definitely question authority for sure. All right, that's it, folks. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum in any form, take a look at my website, my non-existent website. There you go there. Take a look at us here in South Florida. We've been here since 1995. We buy and sell gold, silver, and platinum of all different shapes and sizes. We'll beat local people here in South Florida. We'll also beat people online like Atmex, SD, and JM Bullion. The big 800-pound gorillas out there. That's who you want to beat to be good, right? You want to beat the big guys out there, and we will. So again, if you're in South Florida, make sure you come and visit us. I've been doing this since '77, and I've been in this location since 1995. And nothing like dealing with someone face to face, you know what I mean, when you can, to buy gold and silver and platinum. And you'll get good advice here as well. If you don't live in our immediate area, don't hesitate to give us a call if you're looking to buy larger gold and silver quantities. Unfortunately, I can't do smaller quantities just because I'm not set up like the big 800-pound gorillas to do that. And before you come to me or the 800-pound gorilla, see if you can find yourself a good local dealer. That's what I suggest do. All right, folks, thanks. Have yourself a great day, what's left of it, and let's see what happens in tonight's the overnight markets, the evening markets, and tomorrow's markets. Hope you have a good night or a good day, and talk to you soon. Bye now.